Hi, so you're studying for the ACT, right? Here are some outside information things that you need to know for the ACT because they're going to throw it at you like, are protons positively charged? And then you'll be like, yeah, they are positively charged. So I made some slides and I just quickly review the information. So good luck. Here we go, ACT outside information. Okay, we're going to cover biology. So first, cell biology. Okay, lysosomes. Lysosomes, they digest your food and they break down the cell when it dies, and they also hold enzymes. The mitochondria organelles, they act like a digestive system. It takes in nutrients, breaks them down, and creates ATP, which is like energy for the cell. And then the cell nucleus, it's the brain of the cell. It contains the cell's DNA. It contains the DNA, which is genetic information. And then it also helps control eating, movement, and reproduction. I'm not sure. It's just like kind of the powerhouse. Um, Plants. Important distinction between plants and animals. Plants have a cell wall, and they also have a large vacuole. Animals, no cell wall, and then it's no vacuole basically, and they don't have chloroplasts, but that's kind of obvious. And I don't know how important the similarities are, but basically, yeah, chloroplasts only exist in plant cells because only plants do photosynthesis, not animals, because animals are not converting light into energy. Plants do for their food. And then cell membrane, they hold all the pieces of the cell and they serve as the barrier between the cell and other cells. That's both plant and animal. DNA, RNA, ribosomes, and protein synthesis. So DNA has all the genetic information, which is actually, it's in protein synthesis. It's needed for making the proteins. It's basically the blueprint that the protein production copies. So mRNA, it copies the DNA sequence of a specific gene, whatever that means, and then this process is called transcription. So it's transcribing the DNA sequence to another one, and it happens in the nucleus, so it's kind of the center. And then after this mRNA is made, it leaves the nucleus. So it's and then the ribosomes use mRNA as a guide to copy the protein of the original DNA. This production of protein from the mRNA is called translation. So it's kind of translating. I also have a picture of how this works. So basically, in summary, protein synthesis is DNA to mRNA, which is called transcription, and then mRNA to protein translation, which is followed here. So here we go. Here's the DNA, and then you transcribe the DNA onto mRNA, and then the mRNA, here it goes, and then it's translated onto a ribosome, and this process is repeated again and again, and this is how cells do their thing. Natural selection. As you can see here, the taller giraffe survives and the shorter ones die because they didn't get food. It's basically survival of the fittest. Chemistry, we're going to cover these topics. Okay, basic molecular structure. Sugar, fat, proteins, and nucleic acids. Nucleic acids look a little bit more complex than the other ones. So basically sugar, this is what sugar looks like. So there's 6 C's, 12 H's, and 6 O's, and then fats are made up of C, H, and O, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and the difference between fats and sugars, fats have nearly twice the amount of H as C and a very small number of O, so as you can see, lots of C, lots of H, little to zero, not zero, not as many O's. And then proteins, they're amino acids, and they contain C, H, O, and N. I'm not sure if you have to memorize that, but knowing it will definitely help you in biology class, and so just know it. And then nucleic acids are a little more complex, but it's DNA, RNA, the stuff that we just talked about, and they're made up of 3 parts. Basically, they're made up of a sugar, a phosphate, and a nitrogen base. They're different because they have P and N, phosphorus, in addition to C, H, and O. So they're basically more complex. Yes, they are more complex. The ACT expects you to know how photosynthesis works and what the chemical formula for sugar is. So kind of back to the previous page. And then this are some nucleic acids. Here's the base, here's the phosphate, and here's the 5-part sugar. Here we go. So water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. When does water boil and freeze in Fahrenheit? Think about it. Answer it. Okay, and then, so here we go. Below a pH of 7 is acidic. Look at how sassy this girl looks. I looked up sassy girl, and this is the first thing that popped up on Google. Yay. And so She's pretty acidic, not gonna lie. And this is basic. They're drinking their pumpkin spice lattes. No hate, but like it's basic. So they're a greater than 7 pH. 7 is neutral. Molar mass concept. You basically only need to know that the mass of a molecule is the sum of the mass of its atoms, basically meaning O2 is lighter per molecule than CO2 because CO2 has an extra carbon, so it's kind of just common sense. How charges interact. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, neutrons have no charge, they are neutral. And then basically, this is also common sense, but a material will be in solid form just below freezing point, and just above freezing point, a material will be in liquid, and above the boiling point, liquid becomes gas, like vaporized, and you can think about water. Physics. Gravity is a downward pull. Density. The formula is density equals mass divided by volume. Think you can, I don't know, like dumb equals, I don't know, mean over vicious. I don't know. I just made that up. Density rules. Denser objects sink and less dense objects float. And then you also just need to know basic math skills. But yep,